the halls of residence of Barrockstadt University.
And do we really have to stop here?
The situation is incompatible with the pursuit of our journey.
What are you waiting for, then? Wind them up. Find a way. There must be some sort of train-winding thing just laying around in this weirdo station.
I have seen nothing that fits that description, Кейт Уокер.
I guess we'd better find out, then.
I do not like this station. The atmospheric humidity is detrimental to my sophisticated wheel workings. I will wait for you inside the train.
Wimp. Oscar, we have a serious problem. How can we carry on our journey if this train doesn't want to budge? What are our options?
Every clock has its key, Кейт Уокер. Keep looking.
Well, I hope you're right. Oscar?
Nothing.
You agree?
We have...
I was just hoping... Oscar?
In a...
Everything?
Yes, Kate.
Oscar? There's no way you could help me find a way to wind the train back up again?
Rust awaits my every movement if I leave this train, Кейт Уокер. And what would you do with a rusty engine driver?
Not a lot, I suppose. And to think that when I first became a lawyer, I was worried I'd get stuck behind a desk.
Is something wrong, Кейт Уокер? Is the restaurant car service not to your liking? Would you like another pillow?
Don't worry, Oscar. This train might be a wonder of technology, but the engine's limited autonomy is a liability. You got to admit that.
I am afraid I refuse to entertain this consideration, Кейт Уокер.
Oscar?
In a while.
Hello.
You arrived by train, I see.
Yes, I've come from Valladolid.
It's been a long time since I've seen a train here. Students, did you bring students with you?
No, I traveled alone. Well, almost alone.
I remember around the start of fall, trains would bring kids from all around the world here to study zoology and botany, paleontology, and all that stuff. This was a great university.
And it isn't still great today, then?
Today?
You don't know where I might find equipment to wind up my train springs, do you?
Not in this station, that's for sure. And I would know. You might want to try near the wall. So, thinking staying for long, miss?
No. I mean, I don't know, actually. 1 or 2 days tops. You see, I've got to wind my train back up so that I can continue my journey.
It's just, if you stay here too long, I might get in trouble. The train should stop, then leave again. That's the rule. Besides, your machine's disturbing the birds.
Maybe you could take me up to this wall? If there were 2 of us, we could find what I need to wind up my train even quicker.
Miss, forgive me, I gotta stick to the rule.
I feel like I've lost my way a little here. I could really do with your help.
Hey, anything I can do, miss, you just let me know.
All these birds in a station. It's amazing.
This is no ordinary station, miss. Oh, no. These birds are part of the prestigious University of Barrockstadt ornithological collection. Over the years, this aviary has housed some of the most fantastic species from all over the world. And I am not exactly your typical station master either. This little world is my responsibility.
I can well believe you.
And you know what's the hardest? The hardest thing is to keep interspecial harmony. And one day some explorer...
It wasn't a good idea?
A nightmare. You know, cuckoos lay their eggs in the nests of other species, right? Now, what's more, they also push the host's eggs out of the nest so that they receive all the mother's attention, right? Accursed cuckoos. Nightmare.
I see what you mean. That's one tricky bird. And there was nothing you could do to stop it?
The faculty declared the bird a protected species. If it wasn't for our mechanical eagle, we were sitting on a major ornithological catastrophe.
You have an automaton here?
A wonder of technology. It's an eagle that's mounted on rails in the air. It passes through and it swoops down to collect parasite eggs. But heck, the dang eagle's been out of order for several years. Impossible to collect the eggs myself.
Why not?
I can't climb up the gangway. I fell off it several months back, and I still have a pain in my spine. Not to mention the vertigo I've been getting. I only have to look.
You poor soul.
Worst thing is...
I'm sorry to junk up your station like...
A spring-operated locomotive. There's a thing.
Yeah, and an
Yeah, I always dreamed of taking a train. But now, I'm over the hill.
The name Hans Voralberg.
Oh, do you really think I'd remember?
You don't know where I might find...
Not in this station, that's for sure.
No. I mean...
It's just, if you stay here too long, I might get in trouble. A train should stop, then leave again. That's the rule.
Maybe you could take me up to this...
Miss, forgive me, I gotta stick to the rules. You know, I have to man the station. I don't want to get into trouble with my superior.
I won't disturb you.
Welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
That thing looks like the winding machine I used in the Valladolid station. I've got to find a way of getting the train up here.
Кейт Уокер! Кейт Уокер! Come over here, please! I have something to say to you!
Yes, Oscar, what is it?
A message has arrived for you.
A message?
You have been summoned to see the rectors. They are the highest authority at the university. They want to...
Talk to me?
Yes, to the person responsible for the...
So, I'm in charge now, sure, okay. But why would these gentlemen want to see me at all?
They do not say why, just that it's very important.
Everything okay, Oscar?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am awaiting your instructions.
There's a winding machine further on down there, but we're going to have to shift the train 50 yards.
Impossible, Kate Walker. Train Engineer's Instruction Manual, Chapter 3, Article 2. Once the springs are slack, the train cannot move.
The train cannot move by itself, Oscar. Only by itself. You should take a look around the station, Oscar. It's amazing. Greenhouses that are all...
I am obliged to avoid exposing my wheelwork to corrosive bird excreta. I shall remain inside to monitor the locomotive.
Of course. Oscar, there's no way you could help me find... Oscar?
In a while.
Hey there!
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle!
My husband say, "Hello, young lady, you want to talk to us?"
Are you from Barrockstadt?
Нет.
So you're like me. Birds just passing through. I'm stuck here because of my train.
Kleine Puskereisen mit uns, no?
What did he say?
Train kaput. No luck for you.
Are you...
Нет.
So you're like...
Klein...
What did he say?
Train...
I have a little problem with my train. It's kind of broken. I've absolutely got to get it out of the station. Do you think you could tow it over to the wall with your barge?
Lock closed. Barge blocked.
But if the locks were open, would it be okay to tow my train then?
Porke no? More money for that werk.
Da is possible. My husband say we help you if you give money.
Right. And how much do you...
Cinquante.
He want $150.
$150? I don't have that much.
No money, no barge.
Let me offer you $75.
Nay, $125.
Out of the question. $100 and not a dime more.
Correct. You have barge for $100.
Great. Now, don't move. I'll be back as quick as possible with the money. I hope my train isn't too big for your barge.
Tis okay. Motorboat erste Klasse.
My husband say correct. Powerful motor.
I mean, we're not exactly very far from the winding machine, are we? It's dumb, isn't it? All this effort to go a few...
Put train in barge? Nay, not possible.
It's not very polite of you to take advantage of my predicament. We could have done favors for each other, for free. out of solidarity.
Father, I don't speak not full. Money, yeah.
Excuse me?
My husband say need money for live. $100 not lot for fancy lady like.
How would you know, a fancy lady like me? Really? Have you...
Me too much.
We no leave boat.
I'll leave...
Da-
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party? You sure looking mighty
Just who do you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I'd like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, Zol. I'll let you buy me that.
I don't remember ever
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget... Excuse me. Can I disturb you a second?
No.
You could be a little bit...
Keep quiet.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
As rectors of this university, we have serious matters to attend to and—
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The wall?
Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we praise the existence of that particular edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
You see, I didn't actually intend to stop here, but the springs of my train gave up, you see?
No, not really. You mean to say you're not a student?
You have arrived at...
But as rectors of this university and therefore representatives of its highest authority, we could bet...
You don't understand. I'm a lawyer from New York, or rather Valladolid more precisely. My client wants to buy out an old mechanical toy factory, but its heir isn't actually dead and is living somewhere in Syberia. I've got to get to him to...
Not really. This is a most peculiar tale.
a kerfuffle of the highest order.
We haven't...
Can you possibly help me out here?
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
We cannot constantly be at your
If you don't mind, could you not disturb us all the time? Thank you.
Excuse me.
Miss, we find ourselves terribly put out by the presence of your train in our station and by its recurrent immobility.
Indeed, the situation is very regrettable. Your huge locomotive is very cumbersome.
A train should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
That idea of the station aviary is really very original.
It's the pride of our university. One of the specialties taught here is zoology, you see, and more particularly, ornithology. Proper study and instruction should not be limited to books.
It contains some very rare...
Do you remember Alexander Valembois and his peculiar bird?
Absolutely. His gift produced some very embarrassing long-term consequences.
A poison chalice indeed. It must be said.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't know if there is any Forest Sauvignon here in Barrockstadt, would you?
Absolutely.
When he says absolutely, he means, of course, absolutely none.
What we mean, of course, is that we are absolutely positive there is no Forest Sauvignon here in Barrockstadt.
Really? Are you sure? Because I read in a book that Barrockstadt possesses a number of plants. I wouldn't mind getting a hold of some if possible.
Out of the question, miss.
The assistant rector means to say that our priority is for you to remove your train from our station. Your research will have to wait until your next stop.
Yes, that's right. Your train must leave the station immediately, so please refrain from wasting our time in needless...
Don't forget the regulations, miss. Don't forget them. Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. And quickly.
Some sailors have agreed to tow the train. but I don't have enough money to pay them. I was wondering if you could help me out. I could work for the money.
Please wait, miss. We have certain confibulations.
That is right. We must confibulate between ourselves.
I hope that we are not indisposing you.
Why not?
If it helps us get rid of that train.
My word, that is a...
What do you have in mind, gentlemen?
When you arrived here, you must have noticed a splendid bandstand which honors...
A unique piece of mechanical craftsmanship which no longer works, alas.
Why, yes, we have very moving memories of...
With pleasure.
Unfortunately, my dear, time and rust have taken their toll on this university, and our automatons no longer have a spring in their step. You are going to have to be resourceful.
To tell you the truth, there are a number of complex mechanisms here in Barrockstadt, and it would appear that we have unfortunately lost...
I hope that I can show myself worthy of your faith in me.
Well, my dear colleagues, one more university matter nicely tied up.
Out
Before...
Can you...
miss your...
We cannot...
If...
Are you...
It appears...
Don't...
It is...
That...
It's the pride.
It contains some very rare...
Do you remember Alexander...
Absolutely.
Oh,
Here we are, busy chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
And excuse me, sir?
Yes,
I am sorry to
this young mammothus primigenius is barely 40,000.
yeah,
What do you mean, probable? You don't know? Oh,
it wasn't really my intention to stop off here, but
indeed. There's such a tradition of learning here. And so much knowledge.
actually I'm here because I've been summoned by the rectors of the university.
Oh, I see. You must have made a mistake on your enrollment form.
Oh, no,
And you hope you will find him here?
I'm not altogether sure. But you see, my train broke down coming into
In that case, my dear, you must come to one of my lectures.
the Probo what?
You see? There are gaps in your knowledge that need refreshing.
I feel I've lost my way a little here. I could...
Oh, my dear child, you've chosen your moment. I absolutely...
It's a lecture about mammoths?
Oh, yes and no. More specifically, it is...
To tell you the truth, I'm looking for Mr. Hans Voralberg.
Syberia. Syberia. But what was it you said again?
Said what?
You mentioned a name. The person you are looking for.
Voralberg. Hans Voralberg. Do you know him?
Hans Voralberg.
You're Hans Voralberg.
I'm not sure, my dear. Hans was above all questions of money and business. Just to imagine him running a factory, perish the thought.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
He was always a mystery to me. He never...
A doll, you say?
Yes, he kept talking about it. One day he described it to me. A sort of children's toy. A miniature mammoth mounted by a mout. It appears he found it in a cave not far from his home. The event all sound...
What do you mean?
To my knowledge, there is only one tribe who made figurines featuring a mout, and that tribe is the Yukols. They live in the farthest reaches of Syberia, and for...
Have you considered that Hans Voralberg was maybe making it up? You said yourself he didn't seem to have all his mental facilities intact.
No, that's impossible. Hans couldn't invent the story like that.
Arriving in Barrockstadt is an amazing experience. I've never seen such a station.
You came by train?
Yes, in a kind of clockwork train with a spring mechanism that winds down regularly.
You mean you drive a train? Young ladies of today never cease to amaze me.
Oh, no, I'm not the engineer.
A clockwork train, driven by an automaton. I once knew a man long ago who could have invented such a train.
Yes. I think I can... My train stopped in a peculiar aviary. It's very odd.
Ornithology is far from being my favorite subject, but I must concede that the station is the pride of the university. It was initially intended for teaching purposes, but then birds started arriving from all around the world. It seems that there are still rare species breeding there and flourishing.
Are there? Can you give me an example?
I have been told about a kind of bird with peculiar habits. Let's see now, the Amazon cuckoo.
The Amazon? Where's the Amazon? What is the Amazon?
I'm sorry, my dear, but one cannot learn everything in a lifetime. Specialization is the key to real knowledge. Why don't you pay a visit to our library?
Thank you very much. If I were to say Forest Sauvignon to you, what would you say?
Oh, let's see. Sauvignon. Sauvignon? I would say it's some kind of tropical shrub, don't you think?
We are talking about the same plant, then. It is a very rare shrub with small, juicy fruits. I found a book about the Amazon, and it says that there are even Sauvignon plants growing right here in Barrockstadt. You wouldn't know where, would you?
Amazon Sauvignon plants here? No. No, I don't think there are any. Highly implausible. But you should ask the station master. He is keeper of the greenhouse.
Oh, thanks. Professor,
My dear, it would be a pleasure. But you see, I barely have enough myself to cover my meager expenditure on what I'm paid.
Sorry, I didn't mean to...
However, if we look at the example of Hans, it is true that our university always rewards people who perform some service for it. This is our dear...
I'll leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry? No, not at all, my dear child.
No point. Hello?
So, you got him then, this air?
It's you, Mr. Marson. Good day, and how are you, sir?
I'll feel a whole lot better when this whole business is over and the sales contract is signed. Where the hell are you?
I'm in Barrockstadt.
What? What in God's name are you doing there?
It's a magnificent university.
So if you...
I hear what you're saying, sir, but I have good reason to believe that Hans Voralberg is still alive.
What's your next destination?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
Doesn't sound like you know too much, Kate.
I just need a bit of...
Yeah, well, time is what you ain't got. Keep me posted.
Everything okay?
Yes, Kate Walker.
Oscar?
You know,
Yes.
Oscar. No, there is nothing like that. You will note, however, Kate Walker, that every
Okie dokie.
You know,
I'm sorry to disturb you.
What can I do for you, miss?
All these birds in it.
This is no ordinary.
I can well believe
And you know what?
it wasn't a good idea.
A nightmare.
I see what you mean.
The faculty,
You have an automaton here?
a wonder of technology.
Why not?
I can't climb up the gangway.
You poor...
Worst thing is,
Where might I find some forest...
no place around here, that's for sure. I don't know what you're talking about. That stuff's from the...
You know, for...
Amazon, Peru, Papua New Guinea, it's all the same to me.
Wait, don't go. You know what? I don't think he was being totally straight with me. Excuse me, station master, but I need you again.
Can't you see I am very, very busy?
No.
Well, I am.
I'm looking for a...
Look, lady, the station doesn't have any Sauvignon berries. Not even,
Funny you should mention...
Sauvignon raspberries.
But you see, I have just read a very interesting book, which says that the rare Sauvignon berry is actually...
Well, if it's in a book, then... Don't believe everything you read, miss.
I don't know...
What do you mean? I don't know. How should I know where to find your stupid grape? Go ask your professor, what's his name, Pons, the paleontologist.
But you're the master of this station, so you should know better than anyone.
Nobody tells me.
All these birds in a station...
This is no...
I can well...
And you...
It wasn't a good idea.
A night...
I see what you mean.
The faculty declared the bird a protect...
You have...
A wonder...
Why not?
I can't...
You poor...
Miss...
Right. I need...
Look, lady, I'm only a station master. I got my...
I won't disturb...
Welcome to...
Do excuse me, Professor. Professor, sorry to disturb you again. Professor, I have brought you something that should be a...
What have you got there, then? Let's see.
You see? Your Hans and my Voralberg heir are one and the same.
This is incredible. After all these years, how can I ever thank you, my dear? Oh, I must waste no time. I'm off to my laboratory. I must study this carefully. May I borrow your treasure a moment?
Well...
Don't worry, miss.
Do you think so?
Obvious.
I don't need that for the time being.
What is it you want?
You wouldn't know where the...
Why do you think there are Sauvignon plants here?
I read about it in a book at the library.
Try going to see the station master. If such...
It's actually he who sent me to you. I thought it a little strange, but he definitely said ask the paleontologist. You're the only one here, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. What a strange way to behave. Well, I think he must have made a mistake. That's all. Nobody tells me anything here. Maybe you...
All right, thanks.
My dear, it would be a pleasure. But you see, I barely have...
Sorry,
However...
My...
Ornithology...
Are there? Can you give me Thank you. I'll leave...
Sorry?
Gentlemen, forgive me for disturbing you.
A little...
They are kept to oneself.
Nor trains from leaving stations.
Are you sure there are no Amazon Sauvignon plants in Barrockstadt?
We are quite definite on this point. There are no...
You see, miss, the Amazon Forest Sauvignon is a rare shrub that requires very special conditions.
That's right. Conditions that are very hard to reproduce, believe you me.
Difficult, but not impossible. Fortunately, our garden has proved very successful.
Your garden? So, there is a garden in Barrockstadt?
Oh, the garden. Well, if there was one, it would be only a little garden hidden behind the station. But our station master would be very proud of it.
He would take very good...
And we would be proud as punch. And we wouldn't forget the role the paleontologist might play in this.
What's the paleontologist got to do with it all?
Without him and without his laboratory, how would we make the wine, do you think?
And it would be good wine indeed, my dear colleagues, would it not?
Oh, yes, a delightful balm to soothe away our long hours of toil.
We would wait impatiently every year for the arrival of the year's produce.
So, if I have understood you correctly, there are indeed Sauvignon plants in Barrockstadt. They are cultivated in a garden behind the...
Miss, you do go jumping to some hasty conclusions.
We never said that. That's not what we said at all.
So, what would happen if...
You would...
Yes, if you would be...
That's right, nothing's...
Don't worry, I have no intention at all of getting messed up in anything. Are you sure you want me to...
It appears to me that you are in no position...
Don't think for a moment that our university is for...
It is currently the only repair...
That...
It's the pride.
It contains some...
Do you remember Alexander Wallenborg?
Absolutely.
A poison chalice, indeed.
Oh, yes, it could... Already?
Thank...
And... Excuse...
Can't you see? I am.
You have been playing with me, haven't you? You knew very well there were forest Sauvignon berries in the station garden.
No, not at all. I've never seen your...
You don't have to lie to me. I know all about it. You and the rectors are in cahoots, and the professor's lab has been turned into a distillery. You've all got a nice little smuggling racket on the side.
Smuggling racket? Hey, lady, you're going a bit far there. It's just a little on-the-side thing we got going, that's all. It's just for ourselves. Hey, honest.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. Aren't you worried about the reputation of this fine university? The authorities should be informed of this.
But we haven't done anything wrong. It's not a crime.
Can you open the gate to the garden, please?
Sure. There you are. Please feel free to visit the garden at your leisure. And,
I understand. Don't...
thank you.
impossible to reach it.
Hans, I have some very sad news. Our father is dead. He passed away peacefully last Sunday in his sleep. I feel so lonely now.
Father had been but a shadow of himself since your departure. I had to take care of everything for him. Housework, factory paperwork, the workforce, clients, everything. And now, today, well, I really don't know who or what I'm fighting for. Times are so hard, and this terrible war is destroying everything. Nobody cares for our automatons anymore. I just think about you returning. And when you do return, I will have turned this factory into a palace worthy of your genius. Please take care of yourself. I love you so much, Anna.
Miss, please, excuse me.
Yes?
You know, I want to apologize for our little misunderstanding. I brought you a bottle of wine. Barrockstadt Sauvignon. Very good year. Let me know what you think.
I'm very touched. Thank you.
Good luck on your journey, lady.
Thank you. This thing's jammed. Gentlemen, forgive me for
A little problem.
They are kept to oneself.
Nor trains from leaving stations.
Gentlemen, I have managed to repair your university band.
The bandstand is playing again. This is marvelous.
We are really very grateful indeed.
Yes, very grateful indeed. We will look back.
And now let us in turn honor our word.
$100. If it's not too much to...
We agree to grant you the aforementioned sum, miss. You may now leave with your train.
And while we're on the subject, when will you be leaving?
Here?
Already?
Thank you.
And there you go. Here's your money. I've checked it. It's all there.
Ah, thank you. Not difficult get dollar. See? You are a real businesswoman.
I'm not the only one around here.
We pleased to do deal with you. Now, you open lock or we no help you.
Why didn't you manage to open them? After all, you don't have to be a genius.
Ma vorvat pensiero esto? Declina madam. No se sei mar alles non comprendo en allora kaput en andere bordel. Zirs var moi. On boom telefonieren kaput.
My husband say instructions.
Now that is annoying. What are you gonna do?
We wait repairman.
Well, I don't have the time to wait. I'll have to go have a look. There must be some way of releasing the opening mechanism.
Take key. Seller always need key for lock.
Oops. Hello?
Kay, how's my little baby girl?
Mom, it's so sweet of you to worry, but I'm fine, really.
Well, when are you coming back? Frank is dying to meet you.
Frank? Oh, yeah, your singer. You two seeing each other then?
Oh, you'll never guess the surprise he gave me yesterday.
No, I suppose I won't.
Frank invited me to a big charity.
Wow, I would have loved to have been there. Not too emotional, I hope.
Oh, too emotional by far, especially as I hadn't even been to the hairdresser. Well, I didn't even have the proper dress on. But Frank promised me he'd see to that next time.
I'm sure he has, Mom.
It would be so...
I'll look out for them, Ma.
Well, to you too, Ma.
The instructions are written in a language I don't recognize. The instructions are written in a language I don't recognize.
Welcome to the East Block Control Center. To start, press the number sign. Your combination number is not valid. If you are using the Haltenberg lock, press 1. If you are using the Morloff lock, press 2. If you are using the Koningpass lock, press 3. If you are using the Barrockstadt lock, press 4. To return to the last command, press the number sign. If you want to raise the water level, press 1. If you want to lower the water level, press 2. To return to the last command, press... You want to raise the water level in the Barrockstadt lock? To confirm your choice, press star. To return to the previous command, press the number sign. Your request has been logged. Unfortunately, our regional technician is currently on holiday, and no replacement is available. We will reply to your request within 48 hours. In case of an emergency, please operate the locks.
on the boat.
Guten Tag, sir.
My husband say, hello, young...
It's okay, motor.
My husband...
I mean, we would save a lot of time if you came with me.
Schlechte Idee. Alone wirklich nicht.
Don't you agree?
We already accept the favor. If you want more, you pay more.
That's out of the question. Too bad. I'm just going to have to work it out without your help. Right. Yeah. Right. I've got it. I know now how the locks work. So guide your boat into the lock, and I'll take care of the mechanism. What did your husband say?
You, hurry up.
Okay. We'll meet... Hey there!
Da, barge on...
What do we do now to...
Mademoiselle Tak.
What did your husband...
You attach chain to train and chain...
Up!
If that's going to work... Hello, Кейt Uokер here.
Miss Walker, this is Professor Ponce. I'm about to start my lecture on the Yukols at any moment. Please make haste to come.
Okay.
Excellent. We'll be in the main...
Hello?
Where are you?
Hi, Dan. I'm in...
What? Is that a town? I hope the man you're looking for lives there.
From what I gather, it's one huge university with an extraordinary station, aviary. If you could only see...
Sounds like a great place for a bit of sightseeing. So, are you coming back soon?
I don't think so. In fact, the train I'm traveling on has some kind of a mechanical problem. We've been forced to stop.
Us? I thought you were alone. Who's with you?
Oscar, the train engineer.
You're messing around with mechanics now, are you?
Don't be so stupid, Dan, please. Oscar is an automaton created by Mr. Voralberg, the man I'm looking for. And he's not any old robot. He's a sophisticated butler type, if you see what I mean. He's a bit...
Kate, I don't know what they're feeding you in Europe, but don't you think it's time...
But my mission still isn't finished.
To hell with your mission. I don't know why you accepted it in the first place. If you just stuck to the middle of the road, then we wouldn't be in this mess.
We? If there's any mess, it's me who's in it. And while I'm trying to come to grips with strange towns, you, my darling, are sitting at home on your butt. I seem to remember we had nothing against my departure.
It was only going to be 2 or 3 days, Kate.
Your shoes.
Look, I don't want to talk.
I was perfectly calm before I picked up your...
You can be such a
Takes one to know one, sweetheart.
Ah, there you are, Miss Walker. Good, good. Take a seat quickly. I'm impatient to start my lesson. My young friends, a very exciting discovery, unimaginable up until only a few hours ago, has come into my hands and has finally allowed me to complete my study on the mysterious Yukol people. Lights, please. The Yukols are a people from the far north about whom very little is known. They live far away, very far away, on the frozen borders of Syberia. This distance and the climatic conditions of the region, which are unfavorable to human existence, have limited the size of the Yukol population and kept it out of reach of the scientific world. The handful of slides that follow are actually the only documentation we have in our possession. It was a Russian explorer who made these drawings and took these photographs 100 or so years ago. Today, we owe what we know about the Yukol people and their culture to him. We know that the origins of the Yukols date back to the last ice age. Curiously, evidence of their presence has been found in Western Europe, and more precisely in the prehistoric caves at the heart of the Alps. This people, it seems, undertook a long migration over centuries towards the far north of the globe. The reasons for this migration are due to the importance of the mammoth in their craft, trade, and culture. They used them for transportation and as beasts of burden. The mammoth brought them meat, skins, fat, and ivory. Man and animal lived in symbiosis. There's no doubt about it. Mammoths started to drift away from the region due to changing climatic conditions, and the Yukols followed them to the north, the edges of Syberia. Prehistoric cave drawings, identified as Yukol in origin, first led me to the extraordinary hypothesis that the Yukols had managed to domesticate the mammoth. They are, to the best of our knowledge, the only prehistoric people to represent a man riding a mammoth. Today, because of this genuine mammoth skin effigy, identified by myself as an authentic Neolithic object, I can confirm this hypothesis. Yukol forebears managed to tame mammoths. Prehistoric man uses little imagination. He draws what he sees and represents scenes from real life. This familiar day-to-day object is actually a children's toy. As we have seen, Yukol existence was inextricably linked to that of the mammoth. They used its skin for clothing and to make the roofs and walls of their houses. They used the tusks to build the frameworks of their homes, as well as weapons, tools, and jewelry. Curiously, the disappearance of the mammoth 12,000 years ago had no immediate effect on the Yukol's way of life. It seemed that for a long time after, the people maintained their strong bond with the mammoth through the centuries. As incredible as it may seem, the Yukol people have continued right up until the start of this century to feed themselves on mammoth meat and to use the skin for clothing and shelter. Their ivory craftwork industry is still flourishing. It would appear that to preserve ancestral customs, the Yukols learned how to exploit through the centuries the large number of frozen mammoth carcasses that were perfectly preserved in the ice of the Siberian tundra. They have been able to live mainly off this enormous freezer stock for almost 30 centuries. As plausible as this explanation may seem, it seems it is not enough for the scientific community who, I will confess, is greatly perplexed by the question. In the absence of acceptable scientific evidence, we have to make do with Yukol shaman artifacts. The research department that I have the honor to represent today lends no credence to the myths and legends that these tribal charlatans peddle. We have to take their stories at face value, mere tales to while away the long Siberian winter. The legend of the Siberian Ice Ark is a very good example, and you are invited to find out for yourselves from the pamphlet that I had passed around to you. This legend would have us believe that today, somewhere on a lost island to the north of Syberia, there are living mammoths still in existence, a sort of hangover from the Ice Age. This small herd has been miraculously preserved for more than 120 centuries by the Yukol's tender care. The island on which the pachyderms are said to live is called Syberia. My friends, I advise you to resist the temptation you may have to believe in this pish and tish. The island of Syberia is not charted on any map, and the idea that mammoths have survived to the 21st century is an idle scientist's pipe dream. The Yukols were sadly among the first victims of the colonization of continental Siberia led by the Russians in the 20th century. The Kolkhoz and Sovkhoz systems, as well as the exploitation, disdain, and humiliation people had to suffer, marked a definitive break in the Yukol's traditional life. Now, at the start of the 21st century. There ends my lecture for today. Thank you for being among us today, Miss Walker. Please make your way to the laboratory where you will find your mammoth doll. There are also photocopies of my lectures should you so require them. What is it you want to know?
I must congratulate you for your lecture. You were right. The subject is absolutely
What you heard was only the tip of the iceberg, my dear. But if I have at least awoken a passion...
Did Hans Voralberg agree with your hypothesis on the Yukols being able to tame mammoths?
Now, Hans was no man of science. His pathological obsession was to find...
You don't believe in it
Mammoths died out thousands of years.
Do you know where Hans might have gone after his stay?
No, but I would not be surprised if he left in search of the Yukols, or what is left of them today.
What would you say about...
Young lady, you are very kind. I'm far too old.
Your Hans Voralbergs, can you tell me a little bit more about it?
He was always a...
Arriving in Barrockstadt is...
you came by train?
Yes, in a car...
You mean...
Oh, I'll...
Sorry?
Everything okay?
Yes, Kate Walker.
Oscar, if you tell...
Everything is ready. Take your seat.
I'll... What are you doing there, Oscar?
It is imperative that we comply with railroad and customs regulations, Kate Walker.
Oscar, don't you think we could drop the trifling details once and for all?
We need an exit visa to get beyond the wall, Kate Walker.
And you wouldn't know where I could get...
There is usually some form of authority stationed at a guard post that is strategically positioned to issue such a visa.
Oscar, don't you think we...
You neglected to find the clockwork winding mechanism for the train with sufficient haste.
What nerve! And you refused to lend a helping hand.
I agree, Kate Walker.
If you weren't so obsessed by procedure, we wouldn't...
I am not entirely convinced, Kate Walker.
Oscar, please, let's get in the train and leave, can we?
Yes, Kate Walker.
I don't suppose you can help me get this visa then.
Your non-supposition is correct, Kate.
Oscar?
Yes, Kate Walker.
And it's weird.
Please refrain from attributing human emotions to me, Kate Walker.
Okay.
Yes.
I wonder how that works. No point. It's locked. Hello?
Kate! Oh, it's...
Well, I finally got the mechanical...
I'm not talking about that. I want to know what's going on with Dan.
What do you mean?
I bumped into him at Maggie's do, and he said you'd argued.
That's a bit over the top. Things got a bit heated the last time we called, that's all. No need to go overboard.
I don't mean to be Miss Melodramatic, but he didn't seem in such great shape. He had his down-in-the-dumps head on.
Like Dan has a down-in-the-dumps head.
Well, yeah, when that shock of hair flops over his forehead and his eyes mist up and his eyebrows kind of creased together.
I'd never noticed. Maybe I did go a bit too far, but he's got such a goody two-shoes image of me that sometimes I just lose it. And this case is taking up a lot of headspace. I was just looking for a bit of compassion.
Well, you sure got mine. So, what's going down?
Like I said before, I'm kind of getting somewhere, but it's slow. This
Okay, well...
Shouldn't be long, I hope.
Well, call us again real...
I'll try. No point. It's locked. Look. Good day.
Captain Malatesta, Commander-in-Chief of the...
I need a visa to cross the wall and to continue.
Indeed. This responsibility is part of my duties. However, I am not currently issuing visas because nobody must venture beyond the wall.
And why not?
It's far too dangerous, in particular for a lady of your stand.
Dangerous? What exactly?
The enemy, miss. The enemy. I've been observing them for several years.
Are you sure?
Please, take a look for yourself.
Is the
There is no person who takes care of the gate. Believe you me, ma'am. I have been the one and only guardian of...
In that case...
Not at all. It is child's play for anyone who takes...
Why do you say that?
When I caught sight of your formidable... No.
I know.
In it...
I don't know.
And why not?
I need...
And it's far...
Don't mind.
Please, ma'am.
How strange. I can't see a Cossack horseman at all. There's just a dead tree in the middle of an empty plain. Colonel, sir.
Captain.
But you have the air of a great officer.
You flatter me, miss.
There's no...
It would...
Come on. A little glass of wine.
Wine, miss? You are putting me in a...
Don't deny yourself, Cap.
Well...
Here's your glass. To your good health, Captain.
And to yours, miss. It's been a long time since I've drunk.
Isn't it? You wouldn't think it came from Barrockstadt. It is made from the Amazon forest.
Well, well, well. The University Authority...
You know, Captain, it is essential that I continue...
Please, don't even think about it. As I've said, it's extremely dangerous.
Perhaps your Cossack horseman isn't quite what you thought. Perhaps it's just a dead tree twisted into a strange shape. You should take another look. You know...
So be it. I will make this concession to the fairer sex, miss. Incredible. How is this possible? By what strange magic? How could I have been so wrong for so long? The enemy was only a tree. I'm so ashamed.
It's not that bad, Captain. It's
a tree. Nothing but a dead tree.
Pull yourself together, Captain. It's okay.
Yes, of course. There is no...
Captain, you should be delighted. From now on, you don't have to stay pinned to your watchtower. Travel can start up...
You're right. I will sign you a visa to cross the wall frontier.
Thank you, Captain.
Miss, if we could keep this between...
You have my promise, Captain. Oscar?
You're...
Oscar? Don't you think...
You neglect...
What?
I agree.
If...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Here is the visa. I hope it's regulation, my dear Oscar.
It... Have a good...
So...
Indeed.
Here you go, Oscar.
Thank you, Kate Walker. Now, please return to your seat, Kate Walker.
Yes, Oscar. Immediately, Oscar.